Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VConViz channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the new update that just came out. I'm going to be talking about the cards, the different strategies I think that are going to be prominent in this upcoming meta, different things I think are going to change, as well as the different changes that have been happening to Mistrock as well. And all around, should be a pretty good video. I have some replays today to show y'all. I'm playing with the new cards here. And I was just experimenting. I don't know why this game doesn't show, that I'm going to show here, it doesn't show my opponent getting cards. But anyway, doesn't matter to me. Little glitch there. But it's no matter. I have this bunch of notes written down here. And the first thing I really want to talk about today is the different cards that they've added. So they've added 3 cards. They've added the Builder's Hammer. They've added the Blood Gem. Sorry, not Blood Ring. Blood Gem. They've added Paladin. Okay, so the first new card they've added is a tier 1 card. It's called Builder's Hammer. What this does, it's like a card that allows your towers to heal, right? It's every tower though. I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know if it's every tower. I think it's every tower, including your main castle. It's your camps, it's your sanctums. I'm pretty sure it's your regular tower strats, like with your archer towers and what catapults and whatever. I never even thought about it until just now. The catapults are going to be kind of strong. Anyway, back to the matter. That's a new card. It heals all your camps and everything. And then you have the Blood Gem. I keep wanting to say Blood Ring Gem. Blood Gem, which increases your hero HP. It's a tier 3 card. It increases your hero HP and every DPS that every piece of damage that your hero does to an opponent card or hero that your hero gains back. So that includes ultimate. If your hero doesn't ultimate or something, your hero will gain health back for all that DPS that is dealt, right? And so then there's a third card called the Paladin, which every strike it is, like, it's an actual physical card. It's not just an augment or something that goes on to cards to make them stronger. What this does is every time it hits an enemy, it increases your hero's HP. So Blood Gem and the Paladin, both these cards are going to buff up your hero. So, okay, let's take a break from this second. So your hero is going to be important in this patch, right? Your hero is going to be important, and in the past meta, Skarlet was really good, along with Ayla, both really strong champions, but I think what's going to be amplified in this patch are these 2 heroes, because primarily, if you're going to be playing a hero in tier 3, and you're kind of going for the strategy based on here, you need to get a hero that's needs to be able to attack air troops. Otherwise, I mean, you're screwed, man, against the dragons or griffins or whatever your enemy puts down, dude. You gotta have something that hits against dragons. Skarlet has your highest DPS in general, so Skarlet's gonna be really strong. And her ultimate, the big giant swoop, the giant laser beam, I don't even know what you want to call it, that's gonna do a ton of damage against people and gonna heal her back really, really fast. So, tier 3 has been decreased in the amount of mana. That takes, instead of 150, it's going to be 125. This is going to promote people from going that tier 3. Plus, we also have this new card, so people are going to be trying out this new card. I think, the Paladin and the Blood Gem, right? Both of these cards. And I think, honestly, it should be an interesting change. I don't know if they're going to be necessarily good enough. I don't know if the Blood Gem is going to be quite necessary. I feel like it's kind of underwhelming in a way. Like, yeah, your hero is definitely getting HP, but I mean, you might as well get the Paladin if you're gonna go with the Blood Gem. I mean, like, it's either one or the other, I feel like, but if you get the Blood Gem and you're just sending out your hero, it's just not gonna do much. And plus, it's like a lot of mana just get like 1 augment on your champion. That's an artifact, right? Anyway, Paladin's still pretty good though. I mean, like, it has the DPS above a Wendigo, but it has less HP than a Wendigo, but it is healing up your tower. What you can do is basically send out your hero into battle, and, well, you can send out your hero into battle on really low HP, and you have those Paladins heal you up for you, and you just basically sustain on full HP, and you can have your hero doing all the DPS. Overall, though, if you have, like, an Ayla like I have in this game that I'm showing, and you have these Paladins, there's literally nothing your opponent can do. Really, it's pretty impossible. And it feels actually really strong to play with. Yeah, it just feels really powerful, like your opponent can't do much. Anyways, with the Skarlet, you know, I think going to be really prominent again this next coming patch. I do just want to mention they on Castleburn Discord they posted the tier rankings for the different cards, not tier rankings, but like the win percents of each card, and it's really interesting to look at because when you look at what's the highest win percent, you see Pygmy Yeti is at 59%. That's 60% win rate for a Pygmy Yeti, and I literally never see Pygmy Yeti. Like, where is this card at? I don't know what's happening to this card right now. But anyways, you know, it's just a strong card, apparently, I guess. I don't know. The next thing to take a look at, if you're looking at that chart where it says the win percentage of different troops, it says that all tier 3 troops basically in that sector have over 60% win rate. Like, that is absolutely insane. Like, I mean, not over 60%, but they're all near 60%. You know what that means? Tier 3 is actually really strong once you get there, because no one's going to Tier 3 really. But once you get to Tier 3, like, the amount that you're likely to win is pretty higher. Because Tier 1, you look at the win ratings, it's actually just basically 50%. You look at Tier 2, a little bit close, a little bit higher than 50%, right? Tier 3, almost everyone. 60%, right? So pretty significant. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the Mistrock campaign. They've had a lot of changes to that. I played it. It's actually pretty difficult now. I gotta admit, it's kind of a little bit more difficult than it used to be. But with that Mistrock campaign, like they've done some special things, right? They nerfed the dragon and the sorceress, right? But they only nerfed it for Mistrock campaign. It's not nerfed for the actual game itself, like the PvP, which is what I think was needed actually, because both those cards were really quite strong. The devs also made it so you could see the next wave that's spawning, which is also really important when you're trying to counterplay it, which increases the amount of skill you need for Mistrock campaign. They've also made it so you can place buildings, which I think is a pretty neat thing, because you look at all these different card games, not card games, but I don't know, Bloons Tower Defense or other games like that, where you place your towers down for a certain amount of mana or bananas or whatever, and you try and defend it. So it's kind of moving it towards a mainstream lane, trying to protect your base type thing, which I think is a good change, because I think it's more fun when you can have the ability to strategize where you want to build your buildings. They've also made it so it's one hero instead of multiple, and they've combined everybody into one ranking system. And this basically applies to every ranking system, includes the global ranking system. They've made it so everyone falls under one category. Basically, if you're like playing the game, right, you're going to be put into the global ranks, right? You're now put into a global ranking. What's going to show up as a champion player, it's no longer going to be a regional ranking. Like before, I could get like 30th in NA. Now it's just going to be I'm like 200th in the world or something, right? So that's different. I believe you can still see the local regional rankings on the leaderboard. Just you won't be able to see that in your actual ranking on the page where you're going into battle. Again, continuing on with Mistrock though, they've added a deploy limit for these troops, so that you can only place a certain amount, which increases the diversity you're going to want to have when playing these troops, right? So like you can't just all go full into playing dragons, which I think is a really good change, primarily from the fact that before people could just play, I don't know, 20 dragons and just like win the game, or not win the game, get a really high time, right? Because you can't win Mistrock. So overall, I think that's a good change. It allows people it forces people to diversify. The cooldown on the returns has been decreased from 20 seconds to 10 seconds. In regular matches, it's 20 seconds, and Mistrock's going to be 10. Again, increasing the amount of strategy. Basically, as you increase the amount of times you can return, you increase the amount of strategy, basically, that goes into the game. As now you have more control over your units. More control over your units always allows more ability to highlight skill. That's basically it for this entire patch. I just do want to mention again that, you know, I feel like Tier 3 is definitely going to be a lot stronger this patch, and they are not really nerfing any cards. At least You know, a lot of the cards that they have right now, they put in development, and they didn't really release any specific patch notes. They more said what they were doing. Like, they didn't say, oh yeah, we're going to be nerfing or buffing this card. And I don't know if they actually did nerf or buff any cards, or if they're planning to do that at a later date. But honestly, I think the place the game is right now is fairly decent. I've definitely been seeing a lot of Hammer Warriors, and I don't know, like, I feel like the game without any patches has changed a lot. And with Paladins and Paladins and this new Blood Gem, heroes are going to be pretty important coming into this next meta, and it's definitely enlarging the amount of different things you can play the game with. Not just, you know, going tier 3 Goblin Cannons, going Dragons, or, you know, your standard Lich strategy. It's going to be, well, you can play your hero too. You can go with this Paladin strategy. That's kind of interesting, right? One thing I do want to mention with the Builder's Hammer is that, you know, okay, maybe it will increase the amount of, you see these strategies that are like, okay, we're just gonna make buildings, right? Because then I can just hold off in tier 3. So it's gonna be kind of unfortunate for people in the lower rankings who don't have a Tower of Doom or something to counteract. People who just continuously build stuff in front of their base and just have this Builder's Hammer, just like, you know, I'm just gonna heal up all my buildings, right? You can't do anything. But also, I wonder if it sort of negates the early game pressure a lot of people have, and if you can, instead of going I don't know, if it, instead of going 2 cards, you go just 1 card, 1 more defensive card that helps you more in tier 2. Something maybe like a Shield Mouse, or I don't know exactly what you'd want to go instead. But just thinking of it as a way to kind of counteract a Goblin push, or just kind of forge off this early game aggression that people are usually putting down with these Troll Slingers. I really don't know how this meta is going to shape up. A lot of these new cards are only available in casual as it is right now. I don't know when they're going to be fully implemented. I like them a lot, as then they're adding a new strategy into the game, which is always a good thing. I hope to see, I like how they're adding multiple into different tiers too. I was worried they were just going to do stuff to tier 3 and not do anything to tier 1, but I like that the Builder's Hammer is tier 1. Maybe you'd like to see a new hero coming out in the near future. That'd be nice to see. I still need this Isabel's Gleamer as my last card. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say? I think that pretty much covers it. Oh yeah, there's new craft. You can craft right here in the card selection, which I think is a much needed change. It increases the amount of ease. You can just switch between things. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I tried to be pretty prepped and stuff for today. I don't know how I did. I had like, I don't know. It's been a while trying to make this video, as I had to get some gameplay. And anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to subscribe, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Peace out, all, and have a fantastic day.